Hi there, it's Robert, the red tie guy. I'm over here wrapping up my open house at Calle, Kino, and this is a big home. This is 3,200 square feet in northwest Tucson, just off of La Canada. And I have to say, this has pretty much everything you could want out of a 1970 built home in this part of town of this size. It even has an indoor built-in hot tub pool right inside one of the rooms. You got 4 covered parking spots, and that doesn't even get to the biggest part. You have an upper level deck, so you get the views of a second story home without actually having to have a 2-story home. You have a single story home and you have an upstairs deck. Now that means it's unobstructed. That means that you get 360-degree views. So if you feel like looking at the Catalina Mountains, you can look at the Catalina Mountains. If you want to look at the Tucson Mountains, you can look at the Tucson Mountains. Whichever direction you want to face while you're up there, you can do that because of that. So keep watching, look for the remodeled parts of this home, and like I said, there's a lot more to it than you originally think. So keep watching. Here we go. Wanted to start here, and you can see from the street, you do get a peek at the Tucson Mountains, and there's 2 driveways here. This side, you have the turnaround where you have some landscaping in the middle, but it does circle around and you can park right beside the owner's suite there with its own private entrance if you want. We'll go ahead and take a good look at that. But then there's a paved walk here. If you look beyond the paved walk, you can see at the other side of the home, there is a garage over there. That end of this home, that's a 2-car garage, and it's very spacious for a 2-car garage. And then there's a carport over there too. So that's 4 covered parking spots that you can use, and a separate driveway over there on that side as well. Let's take a quick look at some of the landscaping here. Low care, but not bare. Definitely something you can turn into your own entertaining spot out front if you want, or do your own gardening, your own landscaping, plant what you would like. Now this is going to be the living room here, and you have a very large window that looks out. And then this is the remodeled kitchen. We'll take a closer look at this on our way back through to look at the owner's suite. One thing I wanted to briefly mention, this is something that's been upgraded by the current owners. Previously, it was remodeled and sold, and that was back in 2021. But this new floor plan that you're seeing out here, the way it's more open, the way there's a wood backing, the barn doors, the countertops here, some of this is new, not remodeled and then sold in 2021. Some of this is new. There has been some changes. So if you're looking at it, ask yourself, is this a 2021 photo, or is this the current photos as it's trying to sell in 2025? So this side of the home, we have 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and then the owner's suite is going to be the 4th bedroom and the 3rd bathroom. So very spacious here. You do have room for laundry basket if you would like. Tile backsplash in the shower, and yes, there's a toilet there behind the door. I'm going to take a quick look at these bedrooms here. And you do have a modern light fixture, ceiling fans, in all of these rooms. Now this bedroom also has a mini split in it for additional cooling. And this bedroom is actually a suite. So in addition to the walk-in closet, you also have your own bathroom. Hi guys, there I am. And it has a built-in tile shower. Let me see if I can find, there's the light for that. Built-in tile shower. It has a handle shower head there. So important to note, in addition to the owner's suite, you also have this suite, but it also has its own private entrance here. So from here, we go into the spa room. And this is built in. Did not turn it on, not gonna mess around with the controls myself. But look at that reflection. Little bit of depth, but not too much. And then you can lounge here, enjoy the water. And this is looking south. Also looks towards the backyard. I'm just going to note this does have a bit of a high ceiling here. Doesn't hang low, so it definitely has a spacious feel. You could open some of these windows if you wanted to, but built in right there. And then this is an enclosed patio space here. I'm going to take a look at the garage real quick. Very spacious, definitely goes back a ways. And in addition to this space here, we also have two storage rooms that run the length of this. So past each of these doors, there's a storage room. You can see the depth from there. Not going to really walk in and show you all the stuff that's inside there, but just know there's additional storage space there in addition to this spacious garage here. Now let's take a look. I'm going to get a better look at this drive here. So that's the covered parking. And then this is the other drive, the drive closer to La Canada. And you do get a little bit of a view of the Catalina Mountains from here. This is also easy access. So you're not hearing too much of La Canada from here. It's just a few doors down. Honestly, it might just be 2 doors down. So you have very easy access if you want to go, say, north on La Canada, hit the mall that's off of Ina. If you want to go south, get onto River, get into central Tucson. You have easy access for that. And again, that's the staircase that goes up to the upper level deck. Not going to walk on up there for this part, but there will be pieces either at the end or intercut earlier in the video. This is going to circle back towards the living room, towards the kitchen. So we had previously came in through that entrance in the suite, and that's not even the biggest suite. The other suite on the other side is much bigger. So you have private entrances. So some of these bedrooms, they can enter through the front door. This suite could enter through this side. and the other suite could enter through the other side. So a lot of options there. So we went through an enclosed patio, the spa room, an Arizona room, and this is another Arizona room. Check out the block flooring there, the brick flooring. And this has plenty of windows. So just going to pan around, turn the camera, and you can see how if you go into the next room, more windows, and then you have the spa room. That's a lot of windows, plenty of views, plenty of open feeling, so you don't feel like you're in a closet. So while we're here, I'm going to step out. And you do have this patio covering here. Separate gate there. And you have pavers that come around and some artificial grass. So if you wanted to do entertaining out here, if you want to have your dog run around outside, this is where you would have your outdoor space here. And it's just a lot being offered here because already I've shown you the spa, the upper deck, shown you a suite, a very spacious garage. So it really feels like everything I show you is just more to it. Everything there is to this home, you're seeing that it's more space, there's additional features, plenty offered. So from this Arizona room, we're going to go in. I'm going to take a closer look at the kitchen now. And you can see where there's wood backing. And then we come over here and you can see the tile backsplash that runs along here. Deep sink. You have your microwave, your stove, and your stainless steel fridge. That actually looks very familiar. I think I actually have that at home. I might have an identical fridge myself. Now this is a big, spacious bedroom. It has its own thermostat that you can see over there, and it connects to the laundry. So you have your private entrance here, and this big window that you see here, this actually does have a shutter control. There's a switch over to the left. Tested it out earlier when I was turning on and off the lights, and there's a shutter control. So it does lower the shutters. And so if you're worried about having such a large window next to where you sleep, then there's a shutter. And we're going to walk through this doorway here so I can show you that this is a very long closet. So there's the built-in shelves, built-in shelves, more clothes racks, and there's also additional space up above for storage, making the most of the elevated ceilings. And then there's the recessed lighting. So plenty of storage here, easily convenient, yet out of the way. And again, it's large. I know that there's two closet doors, the door to the living room, the door to the laundry, the door out, and the door to the bathroom. But with this much space, you could easily find a layout that works for you, potentially add a desk into it, whatever it is you need to do. This bathroom, I'm going to step back a little bit. Don't think I'm going to be able to avoid my reflection here. I did decently. Two sinks, and then you have the tub, built-in shower, both with the handle and with the waterfall shower head. and this is extensively tiled. I'm going to back up a little bit, but you can see how the ceiling's elevated and there's still tiles, built-in shelving in the tiles, and then there's your drain at the bottom. So note, none of these bathrooms are a half bath. All of these have either a shower or a tub, or in the case of the owner's suite, actually has both separately. Washer dryer here, and this circles back around. So the floor plan is very circular. You can easily get, so if you're using one of the bedrooms as an office, you could potentially have a separate entrance for your clients, and there's a bathroom that they can use, but also you have multiple entrances. You have an entrance at each side, and you have 3 bathrooms, none of which are a half bath. So that's a lot of flexibility. So if you're doing something where you need to accommodate, say, in-laws living with you or multi-generations, then there's other suites, other entrances, multiple parking, multiple approaches to it. So you could definitely figure out a way to accommodate. And all of this living in a 1970 brick-built home, but having the modern feeling, having plenty of features to it, plenty of upgrades, tile flooring, the fresh carpet, and the list goes on. So when I say there's 3 bathrooms, none of them are a half bath. When I talk about the upper level deck, not just at it, it has the 360 views. And then when I talk about this kitchen, look at how spacious this is. Look at the stone countertops, look at the wood panel on it, look at the barn doors in the back. There's plenty to it. So the hardest part is choosing what are you going to put in each of these rooms. And it has a very circular feel. You can walk through, you're not reaching a dead end with the bedrooms because there's a door that leads towards the spa room from there. You're not at a dead end with the owner's suite. You can also connect through the laundry over here. So a lot of appeal with this home, and currently on the market for $725, 3,200 square feet, and you got to see it for yourself. So let me know what you think. Be sure to subscribe, comment below, and I'll look forward to hearing from you. Be sure to follow for more home tours like this one. Thank you.